Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. The Secret Society took down El Rayo, Jose Valenzuela. Now make sure y'all like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and like the channel and leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. And also, man, we almost at 13,000 subscribers. I don't know why I don't have 6,000 people follow me on Twitter. So go over to Twitter and follow me on Twitter. Anyway, after coming off the biggest win of his career, El Rayo went in there and put the beans on Pitbull Cruz. Then after that, a voluntary defense out of everyone that he could have selected. Why in the world did he select Gary Antoine Russell? Now, I'm going to tell you what happened. And this is some sad stuff, right? You telling me that a guy like Valenzuela, who bubbled up from 135 to 140, fought Pitbull for the opportunity to win a title, that in his very next fight, he chose to fight a killer like this? 18 wins, 17 knockouts, 94% KO ratio, one loss to Puello, which some people think he won that fight. Been boxing since he was a kid, come from a boxing family, all his brothers boxed, was an Olympian, and had a 100% KO ratio at the time he fought him. You tell me that Jose Valenzuela, that he felt that his nuts was that big that he would just go out there in a voluntary defense and say, give me Gary Antoine Russell. Well, what we found out, he didn't choose him. He was told that's the only fighter that's available. And they told him no rematch clause. He wanted a rematch clause, but he was told, like, take it or leave it. And I don't know what the fallout would have been if he didn't fight him in a voluntary defense, but he didn't have to do it. But he said that was the only thing that was being offered to him. That's the one part about all this that doesn't make sense. But even if that's correct, I don't understand why they didn't allow him to get a rematch clause. No rematch clause? You're the champion. But they said he was not allowed a rematch clause. When have you ever seen where a champion goes to fight somebody and they're not allowed to have a rematch clause? When Pitbull fought El Rayo, Pitbull had a rematch clause. A rematch clause is not uncommon. It's not like only certain fighters, there are exceptions to the rule and they get rematch clause. No. If you're a champion, there's always some kind of rematch clause. But anyway, they threw him in here with this killer. So now he's in a horrible position because he wants to rematch Gary Antoine Russell. But my understanding after listening to Robert Garcia, El Rayo has to rebuild and start from ground one. Now, I think that is really horrible that they're going to force El Rayo to start over from square one to work his way back up in the rankings. Now, when I look at the 140-pound division, you want El Rayo to start over and maybe fight Hitchens or, there's so much going on. Fight a Catterall now and fight Matias now. Y'all really want Valenzuela to start rebuilding? Man, I just don't think that's cool at all. I think he got done wrong. I think they did him wrong, man. The Secret Society's in full effect. EFFECT. You know what I'm saying? Taking down fighters disgustingly. So now, Robert Garcia is sitting there trying to figure things out. He said Valenzuela had a not so great training camp getting ready for Pitbull Cruz and got in the ring with Pitbull Cruz and put on a magnificent performance. He said for this fight against Gary Antoine Russell, Valenzuela was looking wonderful in sparring, dominating, top talent, and just doing the job. So much so that Robert Garcia's pops, I think his pop's name is Eduardo, and his pops, El Jefe, was like, couldn't wait to see Valenzuela get in the gym, get in the fight with Gary Antoine Russell and put on a dazzling performance. But that's not what happened. So anyway, they're trying to figure out what actually went wrong. Robert Garcia doesn't understand why Valenzuela agreed to the fight with no rematch clause. But at the same time, he's like, Valenzuela could have turned it down. But he chose not to, so it happens. It's boxing. But I wonder how much money Valenzuela got paid. See, I don't know. But maybe Valenzuela got offered, the money was so good that he just took the deal. I don't know. But man, I would like to talk to him to find out why would you do that? Gary Antoine Russell, all those Russell brothers, they're fighters, man. Like, that's not going to be an easy fight. Not saying you want an easy fight, but in a voluntary defense, you don't fight somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? In a voluntary defense, you come out here and you fight a guy like a Kenneth Sims Jr. You fight a guy like a Nestor Bravo, a Kevin Brown. You see some of these names, you don't even know who that is. You go out there and do a voluntary defense, okay? You did your voluntary, then you come back and you face Gary Antoine Russell, who probably a mandatory. But the bottom line is Gary Antoine Russell is the WBA champion now. And it's like we've said a long time ago, the 140-pound division, there is no standout fighter at 140. Teofimo Lopez think he's the big dog, but there's no standout fighter at 140. On any day, any of these fighters can lose. Tio, Valenzuela, we saw he won, he lost. Pitbull, he lost, now he just won. Fierro could beat anybody. Haney, Puello, Hitchens, Barbosa Jr., Catterall, Paro, Matias, Hiroka. There's so many. 140 is a crazy division. So I don't think El Rayo should feel too bad because the best fighter doesn't always win. It's the boxer who fights the best. And one thing I will say, when it comes to Gary Antoine Russell and what he did to win that fight, he did this. Let me expand this. Hard to beat a guy when you're throwing 73 punches. You're averaging 69 to 88 to 98. Jesus Christ. It's hard to beat someone who's throwing 69 to 98 punches around. 69 to 98 punches around. That's crazy. And then he's landing 16% through 30% of his punches. Matter of fact, the first round he landed 20%, second round 24%, third round 28%, fourth round 16%, fifth round 27%, sixth round 27%, seventh round 30%, eighth round 30%, ninth round 30%, 10th round 25%, 11th round 30%, 12th round 25%. That's crazy. Crazy. And he's throwing between 69 and almost 90 punches around. You ain't beating that guy. Sorry. Then when you come and look at El Rayo, he gets outlanded by 5 punches in the first round. Outlanded by 10 punches in the second round. Outlanded by 13 punches in the third round. Outlanded by 2 punches in the fourth round. Outlanded by 8 punches in the fifth round. Outlanded by 10 punches in the sixth. Then outlanded by 9 in the seventh. 14 in the eighth. Then, where am I at? 19 in the ninth, 14 in the 10th, and then 14 in the 11th, and then 7 in the 12th. Yeah, you ain't gonna win that fight. Not when somebody's out throwing you and out landing. Okay, you're not gonna win that fight. Impossible to win the fight. When you look at the final numbers here, you take a look at Valenzuela, you take a look at Russell. Russell threw 957. Valenzuela threw 443. That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And Russell landed 26%. So Yeah, Valenzuela just wasn't gonna win that. He just wasn't gonna win that fight. Anyway, Valenzuela wasn't gonna win. Russell overwhelmed Valenzuela, throwing 957 punches, landing 252. Russell averaged, like I said, about 80 punches thrown and 21 landed around. Valenzuela averaged about 37 thrown, 11 landed. And Valenzuela was never in the fight. When you look at the judges' scorecards, 119, 109, 119, 109, 120, 108, all for Russell. Is what it is, man. Secret Society got him. But I just wonder, and we know those Russells are boxers, they're in shape. For a fighter to maintain that kind of work rate, how? How? It's a lot of punches thrown and not get tired. That's all I'm saying. Matter of fact, while I got you on here, right? Let me see if I can pull this up. Since we're talking, let me see if I can pull this up. CompuBox, Puello, Russell. Okay, let's see. I got it right here. Let me look at something. Russell, okay, look at this. Russell was throwing 48, 39, 51, 60, 42, 57, 45, 51, 65, 51, 50, 60. He wasn't throwing those punches, the amount of punches against Puello that he was throwing against Valenzuela. Now, when you come down and you take a look here, Antoine Russell, 619. He threw 300 more punches. He threw 300 more punches against Valenzuela than he did against Puello. Hey, maybe he was just in shape. But the man threw 300 more punches. Secret Society in full effect. I'm glad Russell got the win. I just got to figure out how the hell he comes out and he throws 300 more punches in a fight. That's crazy. Anyway, in the breeze.